Welcome back. This is part two of this conversation with my sister friend ARVIN KAUFMAN. She's a data scientist and girl, she has a lot of knowledge on the matters of artificial intelligence. And I wonder if you are like me, being a bit lousy or being ignorant about this whole thing of what is really AI. So she has really dived deeper on that question. So if you haven't had an opportunity to listen to that, I would want to encourage you to go back to part one of this conversation. We are talking about artificial intelligence, and then come back here, right, and join us on this part two of this conversation. And what ARVIN has already shared, it has actually made me go, OMG, how can such a tool be so smart? That's what that's what I've kept asking it myself, because the knowledge AI has is mind-boggling. But I want you to stick up with us, because this part two, we are going to go even deeper. And welcome back. Thank you, ARVIN, for sharing all of that knowledge and wisdom on part one. As we have already touched quite a bit on part one, I wanted you to talk more about my concern, actually. And I'm sure it's even my viewers' concern and even other people's concern. Does AI actually start taking people's jobs? Because if I can call the doctor, if I can call for an appointment and get an AI to see me as a doctor, I'm going to use my gynecology, because, honey, that's a sensitive place to be, right? How can AI help in that place? Not even that. Are our jobs at risk?
Yeah, so it's good to be back to part two. This what you're talking about right now is a hot topic. It's a hot topic for those who are especially aware of what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. You know, ignorance is a killer. When you don't know, you something can hit you in the face and you'll never know what's going on, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a hot topic, and in one way or another, it's been a point of discussion if we look from way back when the internet first became mainstream
Mm-hmm.
and people started using computers. I think the topic now is gaining more traction recently, and rightfully so, because of the accelerated advancement of AI. So if we're speaking about jobs, with some jobs, we can already see that there's been a takeover by automation, by AI. And I think whether, AI will completely replace all humans in the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
that depends on, and this is ironic, but get this.
Right.
If we're asking, is AI going to replace jobs? Or
Mm-hmm.
if we're asking, how fast is AI going to replace jobs? The irony in the answer is that it depends on the speed and the creativity with which we create new AI. So
Okay.
we are the drivers of the change that's happening. The developers in the IT world, in the tech world, the tech industries, they are the drivers of the acceleration of AI. And so those numbers can be, the ratios, the impact of man to machine. How many men have been replaced by machines as new AI gets developed can be studied even today by those tech companies. They know the speed
Right.
at which AI is accelerating the different fields. We talked about the medical field in part one,
Mm-hmm.
financial field, the banking sector, customer service,
Mm-hmm.
all these areas that we've already seen, the AI sort of take over or begin, at least in the small sense, to take over. And
So,
so,
Arvin, sorry.
yeah,
So if one day you will wake up and say, let me just accelerate this thing a little bit, let me just push it. Yeah.
yeah. So right
Things
now
will change.
there's a lot of excitement in the tech world about AI. There is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hype. There's a lot of let me say the race to create. There's a race to create. Google is in the race. Apple is in the race. Every tech company that you can think of is in the race to create the best AI. So
Mm-hmm.
in the short term, as we have seen, AI is more likely to just augment human capabilities. And what I mean by that is that AI is able to provide efficiency and productivity to be the extra tool by our side that we can tap into if we need extra efficiency or extra productivity. So it's there, it helps humans who can use it in the way they're supposed to use it to enhance what they're doing. Personally, I use AI in my work every day. Ever since the advent of AI, I'm trying to incorporate more and more in the things that I do. To do like a 10 people job in one day, including being a mom, you need these tools that can enhance your productivity, if you know what I mean. So,
Okay, Alvin, if one
yeah.
day you're gonna just push this AI that I can actually automate it and clean my house, I think I will love you for like even more, like for like seriously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, with that type of technology, you're talking about machines like the Robot Clean. Amazon
Yeah,
released a product like that can hoover your house. So you can already buy something that can do
there
all
is
those things
something
for you.
already.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, you can use the Internet of Things where your fridge speaks to your TV, speaks to your camera, speaks to your Siri, your Alexa. Those things are already in existence. And yeah, it's a question of, again, like we said in part one, receptiveness. So one thing we can talk about that's important to mention here, if we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
jobs, is
Mm,
that during the Industrial Revolution, this is from like the 18th century to the 20th century when we had machines, a technological advancement in machinery, in
mm-hmm.
industry. During that time, we saw that blue collar jobs were at risk. And many people who woke up, like, say, for example, your grandfather was a wheat picker, like he went to pick wheat in the garden. One day he
Yes.
may have woken up and there was the combine harvester that had replaced his job. So there
Mm-hmm.
was an industrial revolution that greatly impacted blue collar workers. But
Mm-hmm.
what we're seeing now in this new disruption of AI is that the jobs that are at risk are white collar jobs. White collar jobs. And I just wanted to read to you here what OpenAI says about the types of work people that could be in danger. So
Mm-hmm.
according to OpenAI, and OpenAI is a company that is at the forefront of artificial intelligence, what they're saying is that jobs that are most likely to be affected are high wage paying jobs. So like writing, programming, anything that involves information processing. And this is most jobs, these are jobs that we formerly regarded as highly prestigious. You needed to be extremely educated to PhD level to get these jobs. These are the jobs that are at risk, including degree level jobs, high school diploma jobs. These jobs are at risk because they are white collar jobs and they involve repetitiveness and routine kind of work. Anything that is
Mm.
repetitive, anything that is sort of comes out of a database that a machine can do, that kind of a job will be taken over by AI. So I would say to anybody in employment, if you have a job, don't take this conversation lightly, but don't fall to the fearful side as well.
Yes.
Conduct a personalized research in your field of expertise and
Mm-hmm.
educate yourself on a daily basis. Follow the news, learn about the advancements of AI that concern your particular field, what's going on in my field with regards to AI, and get yourself a good news source on what in the world of AI. Read a journal, subscribe to some podcasts because things are changing and they're changing very rapidly, very
Mm.
quickly. So, as I said in our past conversation, ignorance and avoidance are not the way forward, but
You are
education.
you are speaking to your sissy right there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm
So
like, I'm not so techy. I can call Arvin. Uh,
yeah. So thank God again, the advantage of the AI is that one may not have necessarily to be techie to either use or learn about AI. And if
okay.
we know that, it breaks a barrier. AI is
Mm.
coming just as Google came. You did not need to have a degree in computer science to use
That's
Google.
right. That's right.
So we don't want to sound like prophets of doom when we talk about the loss of jobs, but
Mm.
it's really a word of caution to the wise. And it's really an early call to prepare, if you will. Just like Noah was building the ark, and, in the world of his days, it had never ever rained. And they didn't know, what in the world are you talking about, Noah? So that's the call right now. The call is to prepare. Those who listened,
Mm.
moved through that point of transition and were able to survive the doom and gloom. And those who did not listen were not able to flow with the disruption, and they were destroyed. So it's a matter of preparation. It's really a matter of preparation. So, Fauza, what I was doing, when we met, just to talk about the kind of disruption, the level of disruption, I was
Mm-hmm.
doing things like writing. I was doing things like designing websites. I was doing things like editing, proofreading, screenplay writing. I don't do any of that anymore. And this has only happened in the space of 6 months. That's not my career anymore. One of my friends reached out to me and said, I need your help to design a website. I said, I don't do that anymore. Not that I couldn't, but I'm spending now most of my time retraining, regrouping, redefining my life to then join what's coming. Something's coming. Because what we see now is that anybody is going to be able to develop a website. Anybody can make a logo. Anybody can make a flyer. These are things that people with creative capabilities could do for other people. But with the ability of the tool, the AI is giving us that capability that anybody can do these things now. Anybody can write a book. Anybody can publish a book. Anybody can proofread a book. So that is not my career anymore. I am in the world of let's prepare to set ourselves for the thing that is coming. So that's the message that I have. Prepare, 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 prepare. And let me give something to your listeners for free again here, like we did with the
Mm-hmm.
mom earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Based on all my observations and what we're chatting about here today, Fauza, I would say that the future
Mm-hmm.
belongs to those who will define themselves not by what they do, but how they can serve. The
Mm.
future
Could
is
you repeat
going
that
to,
again, please, Avi? Could you please repeat that? That's so
yes, so
powerful.
the future belongs to those who will define themselves not by what they do, but by how they can serve. The future is going to be a place that places stronger emphasis on personal brand and capability, and not necessarily on corporate career accolades that we've held in the past. I am in professor, engineer, so and so. That is a passing season, which
You
is
just
why I'm.
gave me hope as a house mom, as a housewife.
I said I have things for mom, didn't I?
You need to
So
come up with an II for a house mom like me.
exactly, exactly. I'm pretty sure someone out there is already thinking about that. So the future will ask, the future is going to ask us, Fauza, what is Fauza about as an individual? What is her
Mm.
value? What can
Mm.
she contribute? What can Fauza contribute? And those are places for personal reflection. So the wise person, instead of keeping up my original career path of being a content creator, a social media digital designer, all that is what I've done is I've drawn the creativity out of it, if you will, the inspiration out of it, the imagination, to then rebuild a new brand and image for the future, where the future is going, where I see that this is where we're headed as a people. And that's what I would say to each and everybody: adapt, adapt, prepare, adapt, prepare, adapt, educate yourself, prepare, and adapt.
Wow, Avin. I see Luminous changing completely as I listen to you now.
Mm.
Luminous, that's Avin's company, that's Avin's business. And you just said something that, in the future, everyone can build a website, they can create a logo, do all those things. But I'm still convinced that, I mean, when I see you, when I speak to you, I mean, we talk, but I get fascinated with the enthusiasm and the knowledge and the wisdom that you carry, with all these tech things. Girl, I don't think everybody will create a logo. You think? Because of AI?
So, you know, I like the quote that I share sometimes is that wisdom is knowing the right questions to ask, and
Mm-hmm.
then even greater wisdom is knowing when you've been given the correct answer. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is sometimes we don't know what we need. I'm
Mm.
looking for someone to interpret my situation for me. And that's how we've been
Yes.
able to employ CEOs, general managers, managing directors for multiple other reasons, but also because we're looking for people who can interpret what do I need when I need it?
Solve a problem, correct?
How do I solve this
Yeah,
problem?
yeah, yeah.
So you've touched on something very important, Fauza, because the future again now is going to belong to those who have critical thinking capabilities. If you can take a situation, analyze it, understand the problem, and know what the answer should be. So you will know when the answer is wrong or when the answer is right. That is critical thinking. So when the
Mm-hmm.
answer is right, then you know what you need to apply to the tool, the
Mm.
AI, to give you the answer that you're looking for.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That is so cool though.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Okay. I will stop being ignorant, Sissy, and I will start learning. But I'm gonna sign up for your workshops, okay? When you start,
Yes.
because then I learn more, okay? I learn more, and I want you to come to you join me on these workshops when Arvin is running them. Now, you've shared really quite a lot. You've touched a bit about, what the future looks like, right? But I also want you to talk a little bit on the area of what are the ethical concerns? Like you've shared a bit, and knowledge is power. The reason why I'm having you here, honey, it's because I cannot talk about AI because I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because it's your area. And I'm so proud of you because you're so passionate. You have a lot of enthusiasm. You're always developing. You're always learning. You are always researching and, learning and getting out there. But what could you tell us, as in, the ethical concerns around AI? Like, are there even, and how does that really look like for someone like me and the viewers? For all of us who they are not yet in that AI space.
Right, Fauza. So there is several AI concerns, and some of them have even been, voiced by very influential people around the world who are concerned about AI and then the coming of AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, whereby machines will have human-like capabilities. So one concern, let's talk about them step by step, is the
Okay.
potential for AI to, for example, perpetuate or amplify existing biases and discriminations in society. We already know that our society is fragmented when we talk about racism and all these things that, people, enforce on each other that are not right according to morality. So I was listening, like, to give you an example, I was listening to one of the tech podcasts recently, and Trevor Noah, Trevor Noah is, he was on
Yes,
that
yes,
podcast, and
yes.
he was invited as a guest to speak about AI, I believe, in his movie making industry. And so he gave a story, and he was talking about how he attended a demonstration, and in this demonstration, the creators of this AI were showing the AI images, multiple images, thousands and thousands of images, and the AI could identify the people in the images and give them like an origin, a race, a color, and all that, but they could not identify people of African descent. No matter
Oh.
how many black people were put in front of the AI, it could not identify people of African descent. And so the creators of that,
Hold on, Arvin.
yeah.
I'm dancing here, but my question is that a good thing for a black mama like me, or should I be concerned?
So
You
remember
know,
we are
as I'm
talking
living
about,
black, honey,
yes,
and they cannot
yes.
detect me. Hallelujah.
No, so we're talking about ethical concerns. We're talking about biases. We're talking about potential discrimination. And so what happened is with this particular creator of that technology is that they had to take the product to Africa. And so they trained the product in a setting that was African in order for it to make these distinctions correctly about without being racially discriminative. So certainly the memory stayed on Trevor Noah's mind because remember, he's of African origin.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't think for a moment that it's mainly had like discriminatory, concerns on a discrimination level. But there are other concerns when you talk about AI, like readiness. What is the level of readiness? What is the level of alignment? Now, some of these are technological terms, but they're important for us to understand. And let's, for example, talk about alignment. What does alignment mean? Alignment is the idea of developing artificial intelligence systems that are aligned with human values. Remember, we're talking about ethics. So, are these systems aligned with human values? Are they aligned with human goals? When we talk about alignment, and this is an area of AI that I'm actually really passionate about, is that it involves ensuring that the objectives, the actions of the AI are aligned with human preferences rather than causing unintended harm and acting out of bias or against human interest. So yeah, so like in a school of many children, if you applied an AI, would it segregate like those are the black kids and those are the white kids? So are we
And these are
saying
the Asians right here.
and these are the Asians, and these are the Indians, and these are the Caucasians, and whatnot, and whatnot. So AI alignment is a very critical area of research in artificial intelligence, and it really is concerned about the potential impact of advanced AI systems on society, on the economy, because if we create AIs that are segregative in the economy, that could lead to even worse, deeper problems. So without proper alignment, AI systems have caused, they have the potential to cause unintended consequences like job displacement. Like we're only going to fire people who are left-handed. If the AI is not trained correctly, it can be biased, or it can even amplify existing biases. If the actual creators of the AI are biased, they're probably going to feed it biased data. And this poses, really existential risk to humanity. As I said before, these very influential people who are speaking about these issues and they're crying out for their voices to be heard about AI ethics. It's a huge, huge topic around the area of AI. So, when can the questions we're asking ourselves now as tech people is that, can we design AI systems that are transparent? Can we design tech systems that are, uncorruptible, that are interpretable, that are controllable? And we don't have most of those answers because the machine is overtaking that speed at which we can apply the ethics at its foundation. And so if you've been following the news, you'll notice that there was a meeting recently at the White House. Joe Biden invited all the heads of the technological companies to come and give him advice and counsel about AI ethics, AI frameworks, AI governance, AI management, because they need to know how can we build a framework whereby there are regulations, whereby AI has a regulatory body that defines the boundaries of its ethics. So yes, such a powerful topic. It goes so much deeper, but yeah, there are ethical concerns around AI.
Wow, Arvin. I look forward to the day you're gonna come up with some AI sort of situation where something for this mama will be easy. I don't know. I will subscribe whatever I need to do for it.
It's already there, I'm sure, but yes, we will.
Arvin, what a lot of nuggets you've shared with us today. But as we close, there's so much to unpack on all the things that you have shared. But as we close, I just want us to know, Arvin, how does AI impact our lives, right? In terms of privacy and security. Because if I can call for doctor's appointment and I receive a robot, whatever, on the other side of the line, and being in a position to be helped, and they know where I came from, where I live, how old I am, what is my issues based on the information that is already somewhere in an archive. Do I have to be concerned? And how far can I go in terms of how much I post or I share on social media? Because I think these old data get to be, to be collected based on what we watch sometimes online, the links we click, and all those things. I always think somehow it's being stored somewhere. Do I have to be concerned of my privacy and security? And even for our children, do we have to be worried?
Yes, Fauza. So you've touched on very important things there, and I'll go back to our original conversation about the impact of social media. And one thing to connect social media to AI that we're seeing recently is, if you're talking about your privacy on social media, is
Mm-hmm.
deepfakes. And I've shared about this on the Luminous Purple Instagram account, deepfakes. You can just Google it and see what it's all about. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, deepfakes, anyone can take your photo and use it to create you in a situation you've never been in, a place you've never traveled to, a thing you've never done, and it's you. You've probably seen photos of the Pope on the internet wearing a thick white furry jacket. I'm not sure if you've seen those, or maybe you've seen different what are they called, like celebrities in settings they would never be in,
Mm-hmm.
or the former president of the US, Trump. They've done deep fakes on him and they show him like he's being arrested and it's really him. It's really believable because that's what we call deep fakes. And the thing that came to my mind when we finished our last conversation, Fauza, is that if you have a family account where you post family photos of yourself or your loved ones, keep them private. These are really days of educating ourselves. Make your account private so it's not accessible by people you wouldn't really. That's a level of security you can apply within your means. We're not saying that that's
Okay.
extremely safe, but
Mm-hmm.
at least you've applied a level of security because we have so many bad actors out there. And
Mm-hmm.
the deepfakes have now gone mainstream. Anyone can create a deepfake using AI. Anyone can put themselves in Paris, in London, or put you in a compromising situation that you've never been in, you've never done this thing, and it looks really believable. So if we're talking about security, that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
issues. If we're talking about privacy, that's a real concern. And obviously, we all know that AI has been used to collect massive, massive data. That is how it has become intelligent, by collecting so much data over a long period of time, including
Mm-hmm.
personal data, things that have come out of your email. For example, you could be talking about fashion right now with me and go
Mm-hmm.
back to your email and find some fashion ads on your computer.
Girl,
Exactly. Yes. Or you could
how did
go in.
AI know that I was, because I have a real situation which I'll share with you offline.
Yes.
Hey.
All right. Yeah, it's a very interesting world right now. Or you could be
Much.
like, you just created your account, you've just logged in, you just put a password in, and then boom, you're given all these accounts of people you might know. And it's people you actually would know. Or you've been a user for a long time and still you see people flashing up. I think you know ARVIN, Fauza. I think you know ARVIN's three other accounts as well. So all these are machines learning you, and it's really a concern on the case of privacy because it then learns about your preferences. It knows what music
Mm-hmm.
you like. It knows about like your political affiliations. It knows your faith. It knows your sexual orientation. These are things of privacy, and really they raise a question about the ethical uses of AI and how it needs to be regulated. These are human rights concerns. So it traces back into what we are talking about earlier about
Mm-hmm.
AI ethics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really, really deep issue about AI ethics because without us establishing the correct foundation for the morality of AI, if you will, then we're heading into some serious privacy and security concerns.
I'm just gonna get myself educated, because sis, this is a real deal. And it's not it's going to come, it's already existing, it's right here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, ARVIN. I have a lot to learn, I have a lot to unpack. And I want you to talk a little bit about what does Luminous do? For someone who is listening, for someone who is watching, maybe they need help on some sort. You know, what does Luminous do, and how can actually people get hold of the services that you do before we.
Thank you, Fauza. So Luminous has been going through a transition, as I mentioned, even part one or part two, that the things that my career path from even 6 months ago is not my career path right now. And I am the founder of Luminous Purple. So I've sort of taken that wisdom that I've collected, the knowledge, the self-education, and transition the company now to become a guide into the future of educating people about things like we talked about here today, AI, things like how to prepare, how to get your personal brand ready for the future, whether you're a CEO, manager, a bank manager, a mom, a driver, no matter who you are, how can you get yourself career ready for the future? Because, they say opportunity favors the prepared. So if you're prepared, you walk into the future boldly and with confidence, knowing that, yes, AI is here, but I've already equipped myself, I've already educated myself. So fundamentally, that is what Luminous Purple does now. For those that know what they need to know, the service is a powerful service and it's available. You can follow us on a new Twitter we created. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can email us, theluminuscreative@gmail.com.
And you better do, honey, because ARVIN, I'm thinking, who else do I know that knows all these things? I can't think of anyone else. That's how much knowledge ARVIN has. And that's the reason why I was like, okay, let's talk about this AI, because she just has a lot of knowledge about all these things. And I'm sure whatever need you may have, she can help, because that's her thing. Aside from cooking chicken as a mom, that's aside. But I see her as a scientist, a tech computer scientist. Child, I can't even pronounce that. AI, artificial intelligence. ARVIN, right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm telling you, my mind is like, I'm like, where do I start?
Yes.
But you said something. Let us not be ignorant. Let us prepare for what is to come. Because knowledge is so important. But I also I wrote down here, you said opportunities favors those who are prepared. Opportunity favors the prepared. So what are you doing? I'm asking you the same question, my viewers, and I'm asking myself. I have actually made a decision intentionally as I was here listening to ARVIN. I choose not to be ignorant anymore about what AI is all about, because, child, I have been served by an AI that I had no idea that it was an AI. I check it, I'm telling you. But listen, we've got something to do. We have to learn. Because the truth is, we are living in a real world, right? Thank you so much. Do you have anything you would like to leave with us before we end the conversation?
Would leave on a high note to say AI has multiple good uses. Get access to the tools, use them to improve your productivity, your efficiency, and also there's a lot of material out there, whether in the form of journals, podcasts, training. There's a lot you can get your hands on to educate yourself about AI. So do make use of all that, take advantage of it, and really bring yourself into a place where you are educated.
There you got it, guys. I'm gonna do that. I'm telling, I'll be saying, see what I found today? I'm telling, I'm gonna be like, but before I go to someone else, I'll be on Luminous Purple first. What's
Yes.
happening here? I'll be like a stalker now, but in a good way, honey. I love you so much. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
all
you.
this knowledge and wisdom with us. I'm sure it's a blessing to not only to me, I'm sure it's a blessing to all of us, to the viewers, but I also want to speak blessing over you, Arvin, as you impact, as you pour, as you serve. I speak blessings over you in your ministry, for your work, for your business, for everything that you do. Let it be glory, 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 so that it will glorify
You.
Father.
Yes.
I love you so much. I'll see
Love
you
you.
guys soon
You.
with another conversation just like this. I have nothing else to add. If I
Mm.
had to, let's stop being ignorant. See you soon. Bye for now.